everybody to our next episode of Food for Thought with Karabo and Conce. On today's episode, we're talking to the one and only agricultural economist at Grain SA, Ikageng Maluleke. She is a girl that made it all the way from Pretoria, I'm telling you, to your television screens, to your radio stations, on podiums, encouraging youth to get involved in agriculture and making a difference with our development farmers. Ikageng, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we are so happy to have you in our space. So, Ikageng, please do tell us what encouraged this love for agriculture.
Okay, so my love for agriculture actually dates back as far as high school. I actually did agriculture at school, and I had one of the most amazing teachers. She was so passionate about it, and I think it was just so contagious. And that's when I decided this is what I want to do.
Okay, so I think contrary to what Conce and I said in our first video, guys, we'd said that we got into agriculture by accident. So it seemed like yours was quite planned, you know.
Definitely. You know, I would actually put it, looking back, I'd actually put it as the universe conspired to get me into agriculture. You know, everything that I've done, everything that has inspired me has basically led me to where I am. And I don't see myself anywhere else.
You love it, and you can clearly see it. So tell us exactly, what does an agricultural economist do at an industry like grain and working for the industry organization such as Grain SA?
Okay, so Grain South Africa, as a producer organization, we basically serve our members on various aspects. So the idea is for us to make life as easy as possible for our producers. So this is to gather information for them, feed it to them in the most consumable manner, and this will basically help them to be able to know when to make decisions, how to make decisions, and at the right time. Remember, when you're sitting on a farm, you can't always be on your computer and checking what's going on with the markets, what's going on internationally. So that is our job, you know, to make life as easy as possible. We also lobby on behalf of producers. This is with government and other stakeholders. This is on different issues, basically just to make the environment as conducive as possible for our grain producers to be able to operate.
Okay, so you guys are basically like the mouthpiece of producers.
Yes.
What does a day in the life of Ikageng look like?
Okay, our days are quite unpredictable. I would say it depends on the time of the year, the kind of information that's available, and what's actually going on in the markets. On a normal day, I'd basically gather information for a producer, either do a daily, monthly, or even a weekly report for them. I'd have meetings with government on different issues, depending on what's basically going on with the different commodities.
So Ikageng, you also are involved in the farmer development programs, right? So what exactly does that entail, and how large should a producer be to actually form part of the Grain SA Farmer Development Program? Is it open for everybody?
The Grain SA Farmer Development Program is actually a program that can be joined by anyone. This is where we would like to enhance food security within South Africa. So this goes from your 1 hectare, your backyard farmers, up until farmers who are close to commercial, you know. A farmer on a 1 hectare plot, we try for them to be able to produce at least commercial yields. They might not have the piece of land, but we try for them to be able to have commercial yields. So the idea is that they join Grain SA. They have an annual fee of about $50, and with that they get training. They're able to collate their money together and actually buy inputs, which is at a more reasonable price than if one producer goes out to buy their own inputs. So basically, this is how we help upcoming producers to be able to get into the grain market and to be able to be sustainable at that.
You sort of form like a nice small community of farmers, you know, for them to be able to reach, especially we know that, you know, reaching the market at a small scale can be very difficult. So that is actually nice. You're also an advocate, you know, for young producers, you know, I know in this space, especially of grains. Can you just tell us more about the work that you do around that?
Okay, so when I actually got into the space, I just realized just how old the farmers in Agri are. You know, the average age of a farmer is about 65.
Yes.
You know, and so you want to get into spaces and find people your age.
Yeah.
You know, you want to get into spaces and find people who are younger than you. I mean, if we're saying the youth is our future, then they need to be at different platforms to be able to make decisions. You know, the reason I decided to get into advocacy for the youth in Agri is so that they can see that agriculture is fashionable. Agriculture is young. Agriculture is female. You know,
Yes, girl.
so basically that is why I've decided, you know, I need to spearhead this.
And then, I mean, working in agriculture, what has been your highs and your lows? If you were to just share, you know, the experience that you've had.
I've had so many highs.
Love to hear it.
So many highs. I can't even think of any at the moment, but I would say actually the one amazing thing that happened to me within my journey within the agri space is being at the Leadership Academy. That has really grown me as an individual, grown me as a leader, grown my confidence in terms of interacting with people, and just seeing a new vision or a different perspective of agri, and basically understanding that I'm part of the solution. You know, I'm part of the people that are going to make the solution tomorrow, and not me expecting somebody else to come up with solutions. So I would say that has been one of my biggest highs. And in terms of lows, I would say COVID, to see how hard COVID has basically hit different aspects of agriculture, in as much as we've remained so resilient, but it has been one of those tough things that one had to go through and basically try to persevere throughout, you know. So I would say that is basically one of the lows that I've been through.
Okay, so other professions out there will have their industry bodies, and with agricultural economics we have AISA. So from your view, how important is it for you upcoming your upcoming graduates, you know, people who are at school, people who are already in the profession, how important is it for us to be belonging to such, you know, a body, and sort of what benefits, you know, can we get from that?
I would say it's very important to actually be part of a professional body like your ISA. As an upcoming student, you also want to be associated with like-minded people. You want to see what the opportunities and the potential is out there, and you can only be able to be exposed to that at such platforms. You know, you have your conferences, you have different things that AISA would do for students, as well as for other stakeholders, where you basically get together, you get to network, and that's very important in our sector.
I like this because it ties in with what we had previously said in our other video, you know, to say networking and mentorship are very, very important. So to you graduates out there and upcoming economists or any other profession that you're in, it's important for you to be part of these you know, associations, affiliations. Go out and register, go out and find like-minded people, and, you know, network.
And Ika, just in closing, I mean, if you could go and see your 15-year-old self that started doing agri in high school, what would you tell her? Did you think you would be where you are today, have experienced the things you've experienced, the impact you have made? Like, what would you tell her?
You know, I always knew that I would make an impact. I just didn't know just how big of an impact I would make, you know? So if there's anything I would tell my 15-year-old self is, don't be afraid. Speak out, speak loud, you know? There's always somebody in the corner waiting to hear you speak so that they can be inspired. And that actually inspires them. That could actually change somebody else's life, you know? So if there's anything, always live knowing that there's somebody watching.
Oh wow, that is so beautiful, guys. And I think lastly from me, do you have any words of encouragement, maybe to young and upcoming, especially young and upcoming farmers, because those are guys who really need support, you know? So what would you say to them, and also to maybe those who are studying agri, you know, people who aspire to be like you one day, you know, what would you say to them?
Okay. So firstly, let me start with the students. I would say to the students, I know it's hard and it's difficult, but try find a mentor. You know, it's very hard to go through life, especially in the industry of agri, without a mentor. Mentors help you to be exposed to certain doors that you'd never have opened yourself. You know, they help expose you to different networks. So if there's anything, I would say get a mentor. They'll guide you in your career path. They'll show you what the growth trajectory is, and that will actually help you probably prosper faster than if you're just sitting there not knowing where to go and how to go about doing things. It will actually even decrease the amount of effort that you actually need to put in order to actually get to where you want to be, you know. In terms of young upcoming producers, I would say knock on doors. Keep knocking. You know, keep knocking. Join various organizations, join various industry bodies that will help to give you a platform, be your mouthpiece, give you access to whatever resources that you wouldn't necessarily have access to if you're just an individual. So I'd say to them, keep knocking. Somebody will hear you one of these days.
Absolutely. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. When I think Ikageng Maluleke, I really do think about how dynamite comes in small packages, right? You have seen the lady, petite, with a loud voice, with impact, with power, and she's saying, network, go out there, knock on each and every door. And this is from us, Food for Thought with Karabo and Conce. Until next time, thank you for watching.